Hi, clarinet players. This is Mr. Round, and I'm going to be your band teacher this year. And I'm excited about um, teaching you how to play the clarinet. It is going to be a little different. Of course, we're starting the year off way different than we've ever done before. So we're going to be doing it all via online with videos and also with me. I'm checking in with you on Google Meets and all that kind of stuff. So it's going to be a little bit different than before. And because you've never really had a chance to try out the instrument, um, there might be a few challenges here. So it's important to make sure that you let me know if you're not getting something after a few days. Just let me know, and I will help you work on that. Now, the good thing is clarinet is pretty basic as far as being able to get a sound on it. Is one of the easier instruments, so hopefully that will not give you too much difficulty. But again, I will help you if you struggle. So the number one thing is being patient. Just you have to be patient. Things are going to take a few days to get things going. So just make sure that if you struggle with anything, don't ever give up. Just we'll work on it. And the more you let me know, the more I can help you. Okay, so the first thing is hopefully you have an instrument right now, because that's what we're going to be doing, is working on putting our instrument together and figuring out all the supplies you need, and then also, how to get your first sound. So on this day one, that's our goal, is to just get everything kind of put together, show you how to make a sound, and then take it apart and put it away. There's kind of a lot involved in getting your clarinet put together and stuff like that. So this is something that you have to kind of learn and work on the first day, is putting it together and taking it apart. All right, so hopefully you have your instrument here. If you got one through Schmidt Music, basically it's probably going to be a Yamaha, I'm thinking. There is another brand that they might sell called an Anthem. Not sure if you have that. Or if you have a clarinet from somewhere else, not Schmidt Music, like somebody gave you one, a friend, a family member, whatever. I'm going to go over everything that you need. So let's get started. First of all, number one is, how do I open up my case? So if you look at the case here, there's like indents right here, and then there's like bubbles that stick out. Okay, that's like where the floor goes. It's kind of keeps it up off the ground a little bit like that. So that's how you want your case to be. Okay, now if I look at it and I see it says Yamaha on there, it might say backwards Yamaha, but you don't want it upside down Yamaha. Then your case is upside down. Okay, and this case has these little buttons here that you push in. Some of you might have ones that go up and down. An example like that would be on this flute here. You want to make sure that your buckles go up. Okay, you don't want your buckles to go down, because when you open up your case, all your stuff is going to fall all over the place. How embarrassing. Okay, so I put my case, let me show you here. I'm going to I put my case down here, click the two things, open it slowly, and if I'm lifting up the case, nothing should be falling, right? So here is my case. So right here I have the bell. Here's the barrel. Here is the mouthpiece right here. And here are the two middle sections, right? So first of all, you should all have a mouthpiece, okay? And you should also have something like this called a ligature. Now, if your clarinet has a reed already on it and everything like that, we're gonna work on taking that apart right now, so that we have all the pieces separate. Okay. Now, you should also have in your case something like this, which is a reed holder, where you can put reeds in there and keep them nice and dry. Another thing that you need to have is a cleaning cloth like this, and that's what we're going to use at the end of our lesson to show us how to clean all the spit that we generated. And you should have some cork grease. And you might be in a little square box. It might be in like a chapstick kind of thing like this. But that's what we're going to do right now is we're going to take this and we are going to take our mouthpiece, and there's cork on the mouthpiece. So we're going to kind of put some cork grease around it. Okay, then we put that down and we use our fingers and kind of smear it on there good so that your cork is totally covered. Okay, now there's going to be 4 corks that you have to get. Now the key is you don't want to have gobs of white stuff all over the place. Okay, now if you have a brand new clarinet, it's going to be a little tricky to get put together. You might have to have your parents help you get the pieces together. This one it's been used for a while, so the corks are nice and worked in. It's kind of like a brand new baseball glove. It's going to take some time to get it working. So you're going to have to ask your parents, since we're not doing live lessons right now here, to help you do that, help you get the clarinet together. If you have a brand new instrument, you're going to want to put probably more cork grease on than something that's used. Okay, and then wipe your fingers off. Okay, so right now, we got everything greased up. Right now, we're going to take just the mouthpiece, and we're going to take the ligature, and then go in your box. You should all have a box of 2.5 reeds. Now, if you don't have a box, you just have 1 or 2, okay? Hopefully they're new, because you're going to have a reed that looks like that has no chips or nothing. It has to be a good quality reed, all right? And it should say a 2.5, that's 2.5, that's where it is there, okay? That's the size of the reed we want. If you have a 2 or a 3, those are the wrong sizes, and they're going to give you difficulty to play. So a 2.5 would be the thing to do. All right, so I'm going to get those 3 pieces. And then it's probably a good idea to take your clarinet and put it somewhere off to the side. Actually, we're going to do 4 pieces. These 3, and let's grab this one too, called the barrel. All right, so how do we put a reed on our mouthpiece? That's what we're going to learn right now. So what you do is you take the ligature and you loosen these screws. Okay, now when I loosen the screws, I don't want them to come out, so you want to see threads on this end. We're just going to loosen this up, but don't take the screws out. If you take the screws out, they're going to be a little bit confusing how to put it back in. See, we want to be able to open up the ligature like that. Now, if you take your mouthpiece like this and you put the ligature on, and let's say this is the wrong way, it's going to look like that. Okay, you don't want it to look like that. You want it to look like that. So it should fall down there like that. My mouthpiece has lines up here, so you can kind of see that this is going to go down past the line. Okay, now you notice that with the ligature and the hole there, some people have their ligatures too tight right here. They need to loosen these, and it ends up being way up here. And what that does is it chokes the reed. It doesn't let it make any sound. So you want to have it, you're going to have it pretty low like that. So you put your ligature on there. Now you'll notice that the mouthpiece, this is flat right here. It's completely a flat surface. And if you look at the reed, this side is kind of bubbled out, and this side is completely flat. The flat is going to rest on the flat like that. See that? So we don't want to have it like this. Okay, the flat needs to be there. Now, the way they recommend you do this is you have your ligature on, and then you kind of hold this like this, kind of up there, and then you slide the reed across like that. Okay, so now it's important that we're getting this, and if you have trouble and struggles, stop the video at any point in time and just, you know, try to work on getting that right first before you go on. So you can stop and start these videos all you want. So that's what I would recommend. Now, one thing I forgot to mention before we started was this reed has to be wet. So the only way we're going to get it wet right now, well, you can rinse it in the sink and you take your fingers and you kind of rub in the wetness. But most of you are going to be doing this, letting it sit in your mouth. So I forgot about that step. The first, when you get your stuff out, number one, you put a reed in your mouth. Now, I was told that you should probably put the whole reed in your mouth, even the end of it. Now, wood doesn't taste very good, sorry, but you soak it. You're going to want to soak on that for a good, like 1 or 2 minutes. Okay? And then, once you're all done and it's soaked, you pull it out and you take your 2 fingers and you kind of rub that spit in the reed. Okay, what that does is it makes the spit go in the holes of the wood. Okay? So mine's good. Now, if you have a used reed, and one that you used a while, you can get them usually going pretty fast. If you have a brand new one, you're going to have to soak on it longer. Okay, again, I'm going to take this and move it up there like that. I'm going to slide the reed over the flat part, and then it's set. Now, don't take your reed and slide it in the hole like this. I mean, that obviously that's not right. Okay, you want it. All right, then you use your thumb and your thumb down here and your 2 fingers here, and you just kind of line it up so that it's flush across the top, meaning that it's exactly right where it should be. You don't want that tip to be too high. You want it to be exactly like that. Okay, and then I'm going to slide my ligature down, and this is how it should look on the back. So notice that I have a little bit of a gap right there. See that? I don't have this completely closed. I wanted to have that open a little bit, and then once you have it ready, then you tighten it, and then that gap might close a little bit. Okay, you want to make sure that it's all lined up on the sides, everything is lined up. So please go ahead and take a good look at what that looks like. This is really important. Putting your reed on the right way is very, very important. Okay, so you should have just a little bit of wood down here, not a whole bunch. If these screws are, if you didn't loosen it up enough, it's gonna look like this. You don't want it to look. This is bad. What this does, when you're blowing here, there's a small little hole at the top, and when you blow in there, you want the reed to vibrate. If this is up too far, it won't let that reed vibrate. Okay, so it won't make any sound. So you'll go up to try to play it, and it'll just go, it won't make any sound at all. All right, so there you go, just like that. All right, I'm going to take my barrel. I'm going to put it on there like that. And so we have a little bit of a part of our instrument to play. All right, so I'm going to do the next step here. I'm going to pause this video. If you want to make sure that you did the first part Okay, do that right now, and then go on to video number 2 for the day. Okay, we'll see you in a bit.